Hey, what is going on, Keap community? Greg here from the Keap Academy team, and in this video, I want to shine a light on a feature that has kind of quietly flown under the radar, but it is one of the most powerful features that Keap has to offer. And I'm talking about dynamic content. Now, if you haven't heard of this, or if you have, but you thought it wasn't for you or sounded too technical, stay with me for a moment because this is something I think every single Keap user on the planet can benefit from. And in my opinion, it is the most powerful feature Keap has released since the Advanced Automation Builder itself in 2012. So let's take a look at this question I saw pop up in one of the Keap communities recently. So this user is looking to send out an email with a scheduling link, but they want a different link to show up based on who the owner of that contact is. And this is a spot on, perfect example of one of the ways that you can use dynamic content. It has a function called conditional content. So what that allows you to do is hide or reveal certain sections of an email based on what you know about a contact. So you can set it up, as we're about to in this demo, with different blocks of content that will hide or show depending on who the owner is. So that means you can use different links, you can use different call to actions, right? The ways that you can personalize your content are infinitely more flexible when you understand the power behind dynamic content. Let's take a look. So I'm in a Max Classic or Keap Ultimate account right now. But this, the content that you produce here, the code will work in Keap Pro and Max. So I am in a Pro account here. So I'm going to use the user IDs from this account because I'll generate the content and then I'll pop back over and show you that it works in Pro and Max. So basically you just choose contact and owner ID, and we want to do conditionals rather than modifiers. So what that means is it'll conditionally display content if it meets the criteria. If the ID equals, and then we can grab, let's say Michael, for example, is user ID number 8. There we go. And then we'll say else if, and we'll say equals, and grab, let's say Sarah, which is user ID 817. So let's hop back over and say 817. And then you could keep going for your different users. I'm just going to say else, and then I'll add it. So this would be schedule with Mike. And then this section would be schedule with Sarah. And then this section would be, schedule, and it would, be generic or add to a group calendar or a round robin or what have you. So once you have that code generated in Max Classic, you could just hop into an automation or a broadcast and it'll work just fine. But I'm going to jump into Pro because the dynamic content editor isn't on the menu in Pro, but the code is supported. So let's do, I'm going to do a sample broadcast. And let's take this contact, and I will first set the owner so that we can verify that it is working as intended. So let's set the owner to Sarah here. There we go. And then I will send a broadcast to this contact, to Greg, academy@keap.com is the email address. So let's go to the marketing email broadcast. That's actually in comms. Perfect. And then we can build this out. So just add a quick subject line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Save. Audience will be academy@keap.com. That's me. There we go. And then save. And now we can create the content. So I'll just build a simple email from scratch, add some text here, paste that in. So this is where the link to schedule with Mike would go. And this is where the link to schedule with Sarah would go. I'll just use a link to one of the Keap Academy courses. And this would be, a third one. So I'll use a link to a Monkey Pod blog post. So basically I've got 3 different links there. And if you recall, we set the owner to Sarah. So when we send this through, it should show the link to Sarah. Let's go ahead and click save. Continue to send. And it's just going to the one contact. So we will go ahead and click send broadcast. And then I will pause and pull that up in my inbox so we can verify that the Keap Academy link is indeed the one that showed up, which corresponds with the owner we had set, which was Sarah. Okay, so we toggle over to Outlook, and you can see that that email came through, and it is displaying the correct scheduling link. It does not show the link for Mike, and it does not show the generic link. So it has worked as expected. I'm going to go back into Chrome here and show you one more trick for using this feature. So let's create a new broadcast, and I will create content here, and I will use my previous draft as our template. Because obviously I just left the raw URL for the links there, and that's fine. You could take it, up one level by saying, schedule with Mike and hyperlinking that language. But I'm going to take it even another level and use buttons. So the way that this will work is we will basically break this code up into a few different sections. So this is where it will leave off the schedule with Mike. And then this is where it will pick up with the rest of that code. And then it will leave off there. And then it will pick up here. And we actually need just one more for the last default option. So what I've effectively done is broken the code up into separate text blocks. And the reason I have done that is so that I can put buttons in between them. So this would be schedule with Mike. And over here, we can paste in that URL. And then we could pop a new one in here. And this would be schedule with Sarah. And just to make it easier for us, I will change the background color of that button to purple. And then we'll pop in one more down here, and we'll say just generic schedule, pop in that URL, and change the color one more time to, let's say, this blue. So now what I've done is used the code to start the conditional here, and then kind of bracket around the button with the second part, and bracket around this button, and then bracket around that button. So this is effectively the same code, just broken up around these different buttons. And the same concept works with images or anything else you want to use the code to hide or reveal. But let's go ahead and send this email and verify that it also works the way that we expect. I'll do the same thing with the subject line. This time I'll use 456. And the same thing with the audience, academy@keap.com. And let's go ahead and just fire this off, and then I'll check my inbox again. And just like that, the email has arrived, and it is displaying the button we expected. So, I used random URLs for this demo, but you could easily swap those out with links to the specific individual calendars for the contact owners, or any other, custom link that they might need in order to connect with their account manager or whoever the person is at your company who has the closest relationship with them. All right, so there you have it. One of limitless ways you could use dynamic content to streamline your automations, to further personalize your communications, or to just make sure that the right offers are getting in front of the right people at the right time. So consider this your friendly nudge out of the nest to start exploring this feature if you haven't yet thought about the ways it could serve your business. Take care.